I'm not going to tell you again. Get away. Just get away from it. Have I got to come over there? Have I got to come over there and give you a slap? I'm not going to tell you again. You get away from here, you slag! Hey folks, KILT-MAN here. KILT-MAN at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, get away from here. Get away from what? Get away from your last bottle of whiskey, and there ain't too much left in it. You know, they need coolant and all this sort of systems to fly from one end of the galaxy to the other. You drink enough of this, you'll sleep from one end of the universe to the other. No problemo. Cheers, you all. Your good health. And my rapidly dwindling liver. We're just good friends. Folks, there was a time when my videos were always about Escape from New York, or The Thing, or Halloween, or Jaws, or Mad Max, or Predator. There was a time. Now, they're all about Alien Romulus. But hey ho, it's the way we go. It's weird. This film has courted so much fan division. I don't remember another film that's done this to this degree. I do not. I mean, obviously, the likes of it, back in this universe, or one very similar to it, Prometheus split the camp massively. Then you had the likes of Prey. And again, could be a possible crossover universe there. Well, it was, wasn't it? AVP shite. But Prey split the camp, but in the last couple of years, I can't think of any other movie that's done the same amount of richly rewarding conversation and debate, and also clickbaiting shite and hate amongst so-called fans. If we're all fans, why are we hating on each other? But it is the case. And it's bizarre. Well, Indiana Jones died of fucking despair, pile of shite. But again, did that split the camp? Pretty much everyone hated that, didn't they? Didn't they? Really? They did. But Alien Romulus, and I'm going to say well, up front, I've seen it twice now, and I really enjoy it. I have a great time with it. I will buy it on 4K UHD. I think it's going to be a demo disc as well. And also, I have a good time watching it. It's got many, many issues. There's not many films that don't have issues if you don't really look into it. The problem with Alien Romulus is that you haven't got to look too far, too deep and too hard, because they're there in your face. And they are quite glaring. You may have an ability to switch off from all of that, or you may not. And that's what we're finding. But apparently, you know, if you pour scorn on this, then all the lovers, descend upon you, and like a bunch of Xenos will tear limb from limb and spit acid at you at the same time. And vice versa. If you love it, you'll be ridiculed. I don't remember a film in recent years that's caused anywhere near as much. I don't want to use the word controversy. And some of you go controversy. I've never said that. Controversy sounds wrong to my ears. It's controversy. And but this film has courted it without a doubt. In the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. You know, apparently in the news today, there's a celestial body which is 100 times larger than the Earth, which is traveling through the galaxy at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And scientists don't know what it is. My God, that's real, that's news, that's real stuff in space. But no, we just spend our time talking about movies, so let's get on with it. I go on the forums all the time. I do not look at other people's YouTube reviews. Hey, I should do, shouldn't I? Since I sit on here and do YouTube reviews all the time. But I don't tend to watch other people's stuff. I don't know why, I just don't. But I read other people's reviews. I read critics' reviews and I read stuff on forums. I get involved in the debate that way. Well, I don't get involved because, Jesus, don't do it. The amount of trolling for this movie is, on both sides, it is just beyond the pale. It's really ridiculous. It's supernova scale. But the vitriol is ridiculous. Folks, it's a fucking movie. It's a movie, Or as Arnie would say, it's a movie. Really, do we have to hate each other because, you know, you like it or you don't like it? The way the world is now, because of the internet and social media, everyone's opinion is a declaration of war. You know, you put yourself out there, I've said this, and then, wow, watch the enemies surround you and tear you to shreds. It's incredible. Only the human race could come up with shit like this. To rant about something which is a bit of pulp entertainment, which is all it really is, and then turn on each other. We are a ridiculous species. We really are. But hey, we love it, don't we? We love it. And I love the fact that this film has brought about, if nothing else, a huge amount of conversation and debate and interest. It's reinvigorated the Alien franchise in a way that Prometheus and Covenant did not. Because it turned it back into a horror film. Oh, okay. I mean, I've said enough about the movie itself. I've gone through the entire film, spoilerific, and I've given all my viewpoints and this, that, and the other. And as I said before, I enjoy it. But at the end of the day, I don't think we'll be talking about this movie in 10 years' time, or even 5 years' time, or even maybe next year. Too much. When Alien Earth or Earth 8, what's it called? That TV show. You know what I mean. That's coming out next year, which may overtake all of this. Who knows? We may not be talking about it in the same way that we talk about Alien from 79 and Aliens from James Cameron in 86. You know, because those are the two masterpieces, as we all know. And as people keep on saying, you know, oh, you shouldn't go in there expecting it to compete with the first two. Well, no shit, Sherlock, we know that. But you should be able to create a new movie which stands on its own 2 feet and with its big, long, banana-shaped head, spit new acid into the entire franchise, which Romulus does not do. It is, as I said before, as many people say, it's just the greatest hit. It's a callback frenzy to the original 4 movies. And all it does is that on repeat. It throws in some nice touches, couple of great performances. It looks and sounds tremendous, and it is exciting. Right, there we go. So what's happened now to talk about Alien Romulus again? Well, obviously the whole debacle and debating on forums and social media, let that take place. Something else has come to light. Now, a lot of you knew this anyway, because some of you guys, when you watch the trailers, you go in finite and you look at every single frame and every single cell structure of the frame itself, every little pixel, and you find things because you're looking for things. And I remember when the trailer came out, the big trailer came out. There's been 1,000,001 trailers for it and TV spots, I know. But you saw this, and I did see someone picked up on it. I'll come on to it, don't worry. I'm just goading you for the time being. I'm baiting you. People saw it, and I realised it had been seen, but I didn't really watch their breakdowns, and I just thought, okay, whatever. Because I just thought, it's going to be an in-joke, certainly. Little did I know just how many in-jokes and homages and references and downright steals there would be from all those movies. But this, I just thought, it's okay. And then when I finally watched the movie, I thought, I didn't even notice it. Then I saw it again. I didn't notice it again at all. And it's in there twice, folks, twice it's in there. And it's now been confirmed that it's in there, although some of you digital spies, some of you forensic cyber experts, you guys should work for Interpol or the FBI, CIA. You should work for these people because your finite sussing of certain frames. Look, there it is, 2 little circles around it, a big arrow. Look at that. I've seen this. It's in there. What is the it we're talking about? Well, it ain't this, that's for certain. It's this. come hither. It's Narcissus. Yes, Narcissus. One of 2 escape shuttles from the Nostromo. 2. They have 2. No ship, be it ship of the sea, ship of the cosmos, is going to have just 1 escape vessel. No. You have more than 1. And Nostromo has 2. The other one, whose name I have forgotten, is disabled. It's malfunctioned. That's a bad thing. You should maintain these things, because the shuttle only takes 3, you know. So why don't we draw straws? And Ripley escapes in this at the end. She destroys the Nostromo and the big ore refinery, the big cathedral in space. Kaboomski, you know, vaporized. There should be no debris left floating around. And off she goes for like 57 years, drifting through the outer core, and then gets picked up finally. Well, it's in Alien Romulus. Now I know people spotted this, but as I said before, I didn't pay any attention to what they said. But it broke yesterday on AVP, Galaxy, and, well, Fede Alvarez, the director and co-writer of this movie, and major underling of Ridley Scott, Fiddly Ridley, with his black gooey fingers, that he massively overlaid this really badly in a filmmaker's own variation on clickbait. This is what he did. I can't quote him directly because I didn't fucking write it down, did I? But he said, you know, basically, oh, I've been asked if is Ripley in this? Why should Ripley even be in it? And he went, well, you know, there'll be that guy that sits there and has watched it 3 times and then goes, wait a minute, and then says it 3 times apparently, and spots this. And it's in the movie not once but twice, and it is there. I have the frames, I have the stills, I have all of that shit. The Narcissus for that is this. The Narcissus is in Alien Romulus. Let's talk about how this could actually be, why it should be, and should we even really care. Well, you see it in 2 scenes. The sequence where Rain, Kaylee, Spaney, and Andy, the droid, David Johnson, are arguing about whether to let Kay out of. She's trapped behind a door. She's preggers. She's injured. She's seen hell, you know. And there's a fucking Xeno hissing and snarling and doing the Spock fingered thing behind her. I can't do it with that hand. I can do it with that one. Live long and prosper. Nanu, and all that shite. That's Mork and Mindy, isn't it? But they don't open the door. And that's a callback as well, because Ripley did not open the door, refused to open the door, the airlock, to let Lambert, Dallas, and the Facehugger Kane back in, because it's a quarantine thing, you know. And she was right. The first film, Alien's brilliant at this, that it brings in proper rules, but Ash again overrules that and just boom, boom, opens the blood, the doors come open, and she's like, that, fucking hell, you know, how dare you? And you have this duality here. Andy now under the influence of, well, Ash, okay, Rook. He's under the influence of Mother, which is Ash, Rook. And so he's like, no, we can't open the door, just leave her there. Which again is it's a play on what, as you've heard earlier, Bjorn's mother was killed in an earlier sort of catastrophe on the mining colony of Jackson Star. And because of whatever happened, 3 were left behind, but they had to be left behind because the droid in charge decided that, well, I can save a dozen human beings by sacrificing 3, including Bjorn's mother. So Bjorn hates Andy, and all droids for that matter. And we know all this, we've discussed it all before, but it plays on 2 things there. It plays on the whole thing with Bjorn, although Bjorn is not present. Bjorn's already dead at this stage. And Bjorn, of course, is the father of Kay's unborn child. Not the actual child that does come out. Oh God, let's not get sidetracked. But it plays on that, so it's not a bad. It's poetic in its own way to what happened, although it's not really hammered home. And it also is a riff on Ripley not opening the airlock to let the obviously infected Kane back aboard the Nostromo. And Ash, it's a reversal. Ash will open it because he knows what it is. Andy will not open it because the mission comes first, and I know what the alien's doing. Plus, if it gets in here, it's going to kill all of us. And but the greater mission is more important. So it's kind of clever in those ways because it's a duality of motifs, in fact. But in the background of that scene, you have Narcissus is sitting in a hangar docked in Romulus. It's sitting there. It's in the background, but it's there. Oh, it's fucking there, all right. It is definitely there. And then again, you see at the end when Romulus does finally make it, it's now shortened collision course with the asteroid belt around Jackson. When I say Jackson 5, Jackson Star, and when it hits, and it's a great effect, beautiful, fabulously shot, great visuals. It hits the asteroid belt and boom, boom. But you see this tootling along above the asteroid belt, just go in the distance, but it's there, and that's the shot you saw in the trailer, and it was right there, and it got spotted by you bloody digital forensic scientists, and you put it out there, but no one listened. No one really cared. Now, okay, why the hell would that be there? Okay, there's two reasons why it's there, and I want to believe the first reason, not the second. The second we'll go into in a minute. But the first one is just literally a visual in-joke for those who spot it. It's there if you see it. If you choose to see it, it's there. But it means nothing. Remember, in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the mothership has R2-D2 on its superstructure. R2-D2, R2's there. And someone can correct me on this. I'm pretty certain the Nostromo in Alien has a few little references as well on its superstructure. I'm sure, but before this video, I did a bit quick check. Couldn't find them, but I'm sure it does. And there's many other little in-jokes, of course. The one that caused too much shite in the Alien and Predator franchise, Predator 2, with a Xeno skull on the trophy wall of the Pred ship in Predator 2. Which in the cinema, when you spotted it, which everyone did, they're like, oh wow, you took out an alien. Because we didn't really call them the xenomorphs. Aliens brought in that term, but we didn't really call them that. It was aliens. I'm like, but it's an alien skull. Look at that. Wow. The Preds took one of them down. Fucking great. And of course, the studios thought, that worked. What a great idea. Let's do a cross-pollination of the two movie franchises. Yes, and look what happened. Oh dear. But that's great. I love seeing the Xeno skull in Predator 2. And I love seeing other little references to other movies. And there's many. I mean, what Star Wars even riffs on itself. You've got the Millennium Falcon flying through the lower levels of Coruscant during the big chase and all that in Attack of the Clones. So they can feed on themselves, basically. But I don't mind that. As a visual little thing, which if you spot it, it's there, and you go, I like that. Oh, that was neat. That's cool. That works. Okay, so a little in-joke like that works. But having said that, in a film which is a cavalcade of callbacks, which is relentless in its referencing of the other Alien movies, it's tantamount to absolute overkill and, in fact, insulting. If they hadn't done all the other stuff, or even maybe just a couple of references, let's try and work out, for me, a version which would have worked with and been infinitely better. You could have kept Narcissus in there as a little visual reference, homage point. You could have someone else playing the Rook character, or even just Mother as it was originally intended, playing that character on Romulus, not Ash, not Ian Holm. Super dodgy that. And you could even have had to get away from me, you bitch. In the previous video I described why he says that. It's an explanation, it's not an excuse for it, because they designed it just to fit the line in. Bjorn calls Andy a bitch. I said this in the previous video. Calls Andy a bitch several times early on. So when Andy suddenly, being Andy, not the proactive sort of, you know, very super confident Rook and Mother company controlled version, when he's playing Andy, then naive and sort of timid and not sure of what's happening, when he fights and saves Rain, his human sister, from Scorched, and he with a pulse rifle takes him out, blows him away, puts his foot on its head, pure Vasquez style. By the way, it wasn't Vasquez, Jeanette Goldstein, who puts her foot on the Xeno's head in Aliens. It is the producer, whose name I've forgotten, and she was quite fit as well. She was married to James Cameron at the time, and I've forgotten her bloody name now. No, not Catherine Bigelow. Oh, no, she was someone else. Or let me know. But by the time I've done the video, I'll check and go, oh shit, of course it was. But it was her that did it, not Jeanette Goldstein. So he does all this, and you know, get away from her. I know, you know. Pause for like 5 minutes, let the audience get all warmed up. Is he going to talk? Is that the line from Aliens? I think it is. Put your popcorn down and let's all join in with the chorus. You bitch! You know. Now, I don't mind that so much now, because there's a reason for him saying it. He struggles to find a way to like fight back and be aggressive, because it's not in his nature. It's not programmed that way. But because he's been taunted, and it's a nice sort of callback. Having said that, the whole thing was designed. We want to put that line in there, but give him a reason to say it. So they created this sort of flowing backstory of interplay and name calling beforehand. Now, I wouldn't mind, you know, someone else playing the Rook character. I wouldn't mind a Narcissus appearance just in the background and go, oh, that's clever, isn't it? And I wouldn't mind, you know, get away from you bitch in there, now knowing the reasons. But you put all that with everything else they bolt in there and shoehorn it and just, and then open the garbage bin and just empty out all the other references to all the other movies and just throw them in. Pure dumpster, literally. And it's too much, it's overkill and it's insulting. Now, this is James Horner's score for Aliens. You knew that, of course. The other reason why it could be in there, and this is something I do not like. They're saying, and this is of course what Fede Alvarez has hinted at, when he went, oh yeah, Ripley could be there. We don't know where Ripley is. I'm paraphrasing again, but he's saying that Ripley could be there. Why would Ripley be there? Why the fucking hell would Ripley be there? She wouldn't. The infinite fucking vastness of space. Well, we're not going to go into too much detail about the debris field and finding Big Chap and all that. But I'm sick of calling him Big Chap. I hate that. But anyway, it is what it is. It's clumsy, it's ridiculous, but it's there, and it's a means to get the story kick-started. So, okay, that's fine. But to have Narcissus there and to have Fede Alvarez actually kind of make insinuations, and he has, that, oh, maybe she was there. What would Ripley be doing there? What, did they pick up the Narcissus as well? Okay, now there's reasons why that could actually feasibly in their storyline work. Obviously, Nostromo explodes, Ash has already uploaded and sent stuff. Wayland Tarney know they're searching for Big Chap, and they know that there's an escape shuttle out there. Fucking Rook says all this anyway, you know, we knew there was one survivor. So they could have tracked Narcissus as well, but it shouldn't be anywhere near that place. But let's just say, yeah, and we caught that as well. Okay, Big Chap wakes up and yeah, he's none too happy, and all hell breaks loose. Facehuggers and fucking everything, yeah. And there's the film you want to see. That would be great, wouldn't it? It really would be great. Like Happy's Hope, the last stand of Happy's Hope, that would be great to watch. Unnecessary, but it'd be great to watch, you know, where Frost goes, last stand, you know. Yeah, they built barricades, but they didn't hold. And all this stuff, like, fantastic stuff. It's super, super eerie. And, but so they could have got Ripley, right? But if they got Ripley, well, what happened? Are they going to do another sort of sequel, a prequel to Romulus, but another sequel to Alien, set between Alien and Aliens, by having Ripley aboard the Romulus and Remus space station? Would they have that? They revive her because it's been done. This has been done. Sorry, my husky's huffing and puffing and snorting over there. Not snorting any coke, you know, it doesn't do that. Cocaine husky, that'd be a great movie, wouldn't it? They're fucking mad enough without any of the magic powder. Cheers, y'all. So Ripley wakes up and she's part of the debacle on Romulus. Somehow gets her memory wiped, important that, and gets back aboard the Narcissus. And during the collision course, the catastrophe, it's jettisoned. Although, having said that, it wouldn't be just jettisoned because it's not attached to the Romulus, so any escape ships, vessels would be automatically get aboard and we're gonna fuck off, like, because it's just hanging there in the dock, the hangar bay. It's not actually part of the ship, so it couldn't be ignited to go. You'd have to be on board to do it. So, but it's been done before. Tim Levin wrote in, I think, 2013, he wrote Alien Out of the Shadows. And it was well received. And I've not read it, by the way. I've got it, but I've not read it. I've got a lot of Alien novels, and I've started them, and I've never really got into them. It's because it's just like, the movies are where it's at. This is just, it's almost like fan fiction, you know. Well, it is fan fiction, really. But in that, Narcissus is picked up, or Ash has infiltrated the computer system of Narcissus. So Ash, working for Weyland-Yutani, has infiltrated that and is still working for Order 9. Was it 937? Is it 937? Should remember that, shouldn't I? 937, something like that. And so we still got to preserve everything, and Big Chap's around, and this all happened. LD-426, or Acheron as it was originally known in the original scripts and that, for Aliens anyway, and the derelict and all that. Other eggs are there, and it would have brought the company to it. So he's downloaded himself into Narcissus, and then when Narcissus comes aboard this other mining ship, it's a mining ship for Weyland-Yutani, and they've already encountered in their mine site on this planetoid xenomorphs, and all hell's broken loose down there as well. And I think they've got a couple of ships, but anyway, she gets picked up by that, and Ash again infiltrates their computer system and takes over and sets them all up. And Ripley and a whole bunch of people have to go back down to the planet and down into the mine itself, battling all the way through. It's a video game, isn't it? Battling all the way through different levels of this to get to somewhere, to do something, to get another ship, to get back to this ship, to, yeah, it's one of those. And basically everyone dies, and but Ripley has been plagued by dreams of her daughter, of course, and being attacked by Xenos. So she wants her memory wiped, and it's a last minute thing. So they have the tech to wipe the memories. It's like fucking Men in Black or something, like whoop, whoop. And suddenly her memory's wiped, she's back in the Narcissus, and off she goes, drifting through space again, and then it gets picked up by the salvage crew. Okay, that's interesting. Very definitely, Fede Alvarez has thought about that. Mining colonies, mining people, ships overrun, people arriving at the ship from the outside. Narcissus is seen in Romulus. Are they thinking of a different sort of movie? As I said, you know, another sequel to Alien, but before Aliens, but a prequel to Romulus. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. He's mentioned the sequel. He mentioned it today, in fact. That, oh yeah, we've thought about a sequel. We have. The film has made tons and tons of money from its opening weekend and first few days. It's a week now since it came out officially, and it's doing fucking tremendous stuff. Big, mega Wailing Lisani mega bucks. So Alvarez will be making another one by the looks of things. But he did say, you know, look, you don't want to do a sequel within 2 years. You wait a few years to do it. Get everyone's excitement built up and all that. He's right. You don't rush into these things. You shouldn't do anyway. Because you're going to deliver something which is going to be subpar. But he said, you know, we sat down and we worked out, well, Andy and Rain have escaped. They have got away. I always forget the name of that planet that they were heading towards. Vargo? Yvargo? Hang on, that's a company, isn't it? Trivago, who checks all your holiday destinations for you. Hotel Trivago. It's called something like that. Yvargo, something like that. And he said, like, well, do audiences want to know what happens next to them? Do they get to this planet? And is it the planet that you think it is? Is it a beautiful paradise or is it terrible? And he said, you know, it's going to be terrible, isn't it? So they sat and they worked out, and he was quite honest about this, and I think they all are. In this day and age, big Hollywood movies, just studio movies, they are thinking about another movie afterwards, another movie after that. That's why they always announce, like fucking Blumhouse announced, it's going to be a trilogy of films. Yeah. Make sure your first film's a success before you start thinking like that. Halloween, oh dear. Exorcist, oh, fuck right off. But that's what they do. They've always got, you know, we're making this, but right from early development stages, they're thinking, well, who's going to survive? Here's our story treatments, and we can do this in the next one if it's a big success. Well, this is a big success by the looks of things. So it's pretty much assured you're going to get another Alien movie done by Fede Alvarez. But he said himself, no, I want to wait 2 years before I do this. He might not have that power. They might say, look, no, you're fucking doing it right now. This film is really doing, you know, fucking mega bucks. So you are fast track, greenlit. Get the next one out there now. What is that husky doing? Hang on, there's something in the airlock. He'll have ideas in place, whether it's following Andy and Rain to Trivago or not, who knows. But there could be this sort of thing with Ripley being aboard Romulus, because a lot of the feedback that I've seen, everyone the film should have been Big Chap waking up and that battle, him taking out loads of these people, and then the whole development of the facehuggers, and it would have been a pure gore fest. Who doesn't want one of those? And it would have been amazing. But then poor Big Chap gets sidelined straight away. He's just an afterthought. It's just like postscript. Oh yeah, this happened and blah 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 happened, and like we're meant to go, oh, but it's the original Alien. But if you're going to bring him back at all, have him do something, you know. And we know, and the thing is, we know that he did cause carnage there, and had to be taken down furiously, and he melted through several levels and all that. Going after Newt. Brilliantness. Ripley going down in the elevator, stripping off to a little titty vest, and strapping on, you know, explosives, getting the pulse rifle all sorted out, and the flamethrower bit of it, all that, and the grenades. It's a great sequence. And James Horner's score is fucking amazing. So, if you did do that, and you told the story of Ripley aboard the Romulus, if that's where they're going, and I'm making this up though, there's no evidence for this being the case. It's just, if you put that in there, Narcissus, and as Fede Alvarez has kind of, maybe he's just clickbaiting, he's taking the piss, but he's thought about it. You can guarantee your arse about that. He has thought about, should we tell the story of Ripley being on board this and then getting her memory wiped? Because it's been done before. It's been done in Tim Lemon's book, Out of the Shadows, which was very popular. So we could adapt that into our new timeline and franchise. If you did do that, you've got to de-age Ripley. Sigourney Weaver, gorgeous. That bone structure is amazing. Statuesque, very tall lady. I don't think she's the sexiest woman on the planet, and never did. Although in Galaxy Quest, she gave me a run for my money. I did think, oh yes, to be stuck in stasis with you for a while, wouldn't be so bad. You have to de-age her. And we've seen with Ian Holm, that didn't work. It didn't work. It looked bloody awful. And to have a character like that, you'd have to have someone playing it. I mean, comment below and say, who could play Ripley as in just, what, I think, was it 37 years after the events of Alien? I think I'm right in that, 37 years, that's when the whole Romulus thing takes place. So it'd be, yeah, she'd have, but she hasn't aged, of course, she's in stasis, isn't she? So she'd still be the younger Sigourney Weaver from Alien. So who looks like her? I don't know. There's one person that does look like it, but only at a certain time. When you see Ripley at the end of Alien, and she's asleep, obviously, and the lovely shape of her face, and she's turned towards you, and well, my wife, Mrs. KILT-MAN, looks like that when she sleeps. Mrs. KILT-MAN throws an arm over the head like that as well, for some bizarre reason. And but when she's lying there, her shape of her face, the nose, everything about her face resembles that closing shot of Sigourney Weaver. But then she wakes up and ruins the whole fucking thing, you know. And then it is Mrs. KILT-MAN. Oh dear God, no! What happened? I'd rather wake up to a Xeno. I'm joking. She's gorgeous, but it is weird how her shape of her face does resemble that, and I've thought that for, well, I've known Mrs. KILT-MAN for a long time, and as long as Ripley was in fucking space for, and I've always thought that. But who could look like that and be convincing in the role? Because you can bet, as I said before, you can bet your ass they've thought about this. They have thought about it. There's no way they can afford to bring back Sigourney Weaver and de-age her throughout the entire movie. They couldn't do that. They just couldn't do it. And the technology is shit. It won't do it. You could do it animated. Fede, are you listening to KILT-MAN? You could do it animated. But no, you shouldn't do it at all. It's definitely an idea that they have, and I can fucking guarantee it, they have looked at this, they've thought about this. The Narcissus is in Alien Romulus. Oh, but no, Kilty, it's just another one of those escape shuttles. They've got one as well. Why is it hanging vertically in the hangar, in the dock? It's not there to blast off. It's just fucking hanging there. And you see it when the explosion, when they hit the debris field, the asteroid belt, and it's scuttling across. Ooh, I'm out of here. Now, I said right a long time ago, if it's an in-joke, that's fine. But now it's been addressed and announced officially by the filmmaker himself And he's kind of alluded to, well, this could mean something, it might not mean something. Is Ripley there? I've been asked, is Ripley there? Well, that guy who's watched it 3 times, wait a minute. She is there, you know. He could be just taking the piss. Of course. But they will have thought about this. The first, 3 movies certainly are Ripley's Odyssey, Ripley's story. Alien Resurrection, resurrects Ripley. Wisely or wrongly, but still in a fun, weird way. A clone is a pretty good idea, and it's not the same Ripley. She's way, way different. But the conclusion to Alien 3 is the perfect way for Ripley's horrible spaceborne ordeal to end. Never gets old. Never gets old. Fucking love that. I love the entire score. Someone I saw recently on a film score forum said, like, Aliens is the worst of James Horner's scores. It's so lazy. Fucking lazy. Are you kidding me? You can't listen to this score without fucking getting up and like, fucking Futile Escape. You know, where Hicks goes up, like, lifts the ceiling tile. It's non-stop lazy. I know what he means, lazy writing, but I don't think so. I disagree entirely. But of course, what we really want, with all this reimagining and bringing back legacy OG characters, Jonesy! Bring Jonesy back. You haven't even got to fucking de-age him. You just bring another ginger moggy. Fine. Bring him in. Bring a whole slew of them. There's never one animal acting the same character in the movie. Even the Thing, which my dog is a dead ringer for. Not the Thing, but the dog itself. It was 3 dogs that played Jed. Well, Jed was the main one for the Thing, but another couple of dogs played the canine. In I Am Legend, the German Shepherd. God, it breaks my heart. I don't even want to talk about this, but I brought it up, so I've got to finish it. Sam, who we find out is actually Samantha, and I had a German Shepherd at the time when I Am Legend came out. I've always had German Shepherds. Roxy's the first husky ever that we've had, but I've had several German Shepherds throughout my life. And but the one before Roxy was the one that died shortly after I Am Legend came out, and like in I Am Legend, she died in my arms, her owner's arms, like in Will Smith's arms, and mine was a bitch as well. Get away from her, you bitch! Died in my arms, just over there, just behind me where I'm sitting right now, just over there, and it destroyed me. It broke my heart. So when I watch I Am Legend now, it's a horrifying prospect, because that scene, even for people who don't own dogs, it's still, because I know plenty, and they go, oh, that scene breaks my heart every time. Because, you know, we're empathetic creatures. In some cases, just very pathetic creatures, but we sympathise, and animals in distress is always going to be something. You know, you'll eat, well, I know I do, certainly, and I've got kids as well, but I prioritise animals more than human beings. Always have done. And so that really destroyed me. So anyway, Jonesy's story. Oh, sorry, I was going to say, there were 2 dogs that played Samantha. There were 2 German Shepherds. So one can do stunts, one just looks cute, you know. But but that was the point I was making there. But Jonesy, let's have a Jonesy story. There's tons of memes in there. I love the one, you know, Alien, the short version. Jonesy's walking down one of the corridors of Nostromo with the chest burster in its mouth, going, I got you. And I'm about to drop it at Ripley's feet. There you go, have that, you know. Brought that to you. Not prize for you. I caught that fucker, you know. Brett couldn't do it, but I fucking did it, you know. So that's going to happen. And I'm kind of stunned Is there a Jonesy reference in Romulus? Let's be honest, there fucking could be, because it's referenced everything else. Every other thing from all the first 4, well, and Prometheus and Covenant. So 6 Alien movies is referenced in Romulus. Where's Jonesy? I bet there's a picture somewhere of a little ginger puddy tat. I bet you. You know in Aliens there is a picture of Jonesy as a kitten in it on the bridge. And what was I going to say about the shuttle? There was something else about the shuttle. I knew there was. Oh yeah. So if the shuttle's been brought, Narcissus has been brought aboard Romulus, how does it blast out again? Have they got Ripley? Because in Aliens at the start, when she gets rescued, the salvage team get there. If you look, the grappling gun is still wedged in the door, which was a brilliant touch, James Cameron. People don't notice that, but it's there. In Alien, at the end of Alien, it's in the airlock of the Narcissus. She's got the grappling hook and she's singing, "You are my lucky star, lucky, lucky." Ah, yeah, you know. And then fires the grappling hook straight through. They remembered that in Romulus, the grappling hook is through Big Chap's torso. But then when the air gets blown out, she loses the gun, the grappling gun. Why have you got a grappling gun on a little emergency space shuttle? I don't know. Like, why have you got flamethrowers in Outpost 31 in the thing? You don't have flamethrowers in the Antarctica. You don't. I know. I've checked. I've looked into it. You don't do it. But anyway, the gun flies out of hands and it gets wedged in the door when it comes down. It's still there. When they rescue her, it's still there. You look, it's there. So, you know, it kind of, if the Narcissus has been brought aboard and Ripley's come out again, and fought aliens on Romulus. No, you may never get to see this movie, but you can tell they've thought about it. And then gets back on board, memory wiped, off she goes again. Oh, did you think to put, let's put the grappling gun back in the doorway again? You know. I know. What does it matter? KILT-MAN, you've talked for hours collectively now about this movie, which must mean you love it. Yeah, I have a great time with Alien Romulus. I can't wait to watch it again. I do think there'll be an extended cut. I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, the acid... No, there's no acid in my blood. There's just fucking whiskey in my veins. My blood tells me there'll be an extended cut of this. Alvarez has held back on certain things, I think. It may only amount to seconds, but I think there'll be a lot more extreme stuff going on. But I'm hoping there's a few more scenes of actual stuff taking place, because the whole film, after a great build-up, feels very rushed. Once stuff begins to happen, it's just it's non-stop. You know, got to go that room to that room, and like you got Ash, Rook, I'm a bastard, and I can control him, and you can't trust him at all. And this goes on for the entire movie, and then you think it's all over. Oh no, gonna give birth now to fucking Super Slender Man with an engineer's face and hamster eyes or Funko eyes. It's almost like they've gone like the engineers were designed to be the perfect Funko toy, because Funkos have these fucking little jet black hamster eyes. But the further adventures of Jonesy, I want to see that. You could just do it animated, do a spin-off cartoon. I'd watch that. I would genuinely watch that. I think it could be great, good fun. Jonesy, it hasn't got to just fucking hunt Xenos. You know, that's the whole thing. It's a great big wide universe out there. Why is all of this stuff? It's Xenos. At least give Ridley Scott credit for Prometheus and Covenant and the Black Goo. I'm trying to create new things within this universe. shit, suddenly, you know, a lot of my hostility towards those movies has dwindled. No, they're still bad movies regardless. They are, because they're just really badly made. And it's his right, it's the scripts he's using, he's okayed, and his directorial choices, and yeah, and too many fucking stupid character idiocies. The derelict, fucking rolling over like that. Well, was it fucking Wile E. Coyote? Just go that way, go that way. But it might fall sideways, but it's quite clearly rolling that way, isn't it? You know, oh, fuck off. Stupidity. But hey, what a great conversation piece though. And it is. I love it. Someone asked me the other day about, because I've been, obviously, when I go out to boozers, I end up talking about this. Loads of my mates have seen it, obviously. And so it was like, you know, the distress signal from the derelict, who turned it off? Wouldn't it still be going and all that? And that's a good point, because in the original script, Dallas, when they find the space jockey, I'm not going to call him an engineer because they were not engineers back then. Fuck that. The space jockey's there and he's sitting there and you don't know what any of that is. What is it? Is that a mask? Is that part of him? Oh, his bones have blown out from the inside. You know, we know what that is. And they will find out. And that big telescope thing, or transmitter, well, in the original screenplay and in the graphic novel and in other versions and Alan Dean Foster's novelisation, it's run, the distress signal is coming from the space jockey and his console, and Dallas goes and turns it off, turns the transmission off. So that was in the original script, it just isn't shown in the movie, but this became a conversation piece. And I love this about movies. Movies, it can provoke so much in-depth conversation, which can in fact bring in society, life, and everything that we exist and believe in. Because you talk about a movie which is just a bit of fun, entertainment, but it might have subtext and metaphor. But you start talking about it with other people who interpret things differently and have different ideas. Suddenly you're having a huge philosophical debate about things. I'm great in the pub. Imagine, this is just me after a few slugs of whiskey, just doing this video, but I'm great in the boozer. And it can provoke a lot of debate, go off on tangents. Movies can do that. You talk about real life stuff, it ends up getting really nasty. And it does, because I do that as well. So it's great to just stick to the movies, KILT-MAN. Stick to the movies and just have fun with that. Because you can. This movie is fun. Alien Romulus, I'm saying it again, I've enjoyed it twice. I will enjoy it again. I probably won't in a year's time. I'll have watched the UHD 4K and gone, okay. Does look and sound incredible. Got a great home cinema there. Behind you guys. With speakers on the ceilings and all. It is great. But I just don't think it won't be a perennial favourite. It's going to move on. This thing will be accelerated now. Alvarez says, 2 years. He may be right, because you've got to film it. Come up with it. I bet they already have. They come up with the idea, they start filming it. But he wants to wait 2 years to do something else. That might be out of his control. He's made a fucking absolute super success of this movie. Like Disney and Fox are going to let him go from this. And Scott's never going to die. Ridley Scott's never going to fucking die. He'll be in cryostasis and all that, you know. But the minute you start doing something wrong with the plan, with his Wayland Ridley Scott directive, he'll be fucking banging on, you know, and he'll interfere all over again. So, folks, again, apologies for sticking with this theme for a little bit longer than I thought I would. And the thing is, I've still got to do the soundtrack review for Benjamin Wolfish's score, but I can't review it because I got it from Amazon Music and it's on my phone, and I can't play the music to you because it's on my fucking phone, and I can't send it anywhere because the PC is dead and we still haven't got the new PC. But I will do a review of the score itself. I always do with these movies that I'm into. I'll review the score as well. So anyway, folks, I have been on with Shall I Be KILT-MAN. Please, in the meantime, and it's ever like, oh God, just drop the Xeno corpse and fucking let it rot and burn itself with the floorboards and all that, like, in between time. Please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. And I am going to see you all later. But it is interesting, isn't it? And if you guys were stuck with this video who are new to this channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. Do all those things that all the other YouTubers demand that you do. Me, I don't really give a fuck. You know, if you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't, fuck off, because I don't care anyway. It's my channel. Do what I want. And all the haters about, you know, oh, you didn't like Romulus. I fucking did like Romulus. I really enjoyed it. I just don't think it's very good. But I still enjoyed it. There you go. Pick the bones out of that one, if you will. One last swig. Ooh, we're right down to the dregs now, aren't we, folks? Worry not. I'm going to boozer in a minute. Look, if you're a bitch, will you just get away from her? Get away from her, because you're a biatch.